explain a little bit how today works. It's very much like having a one-to-one session with me anyway. Clearly, you know, if we were in the same room, it would work just the same. And I know when we ask people to put why they would like to be chosen, and when I was scrolling down, we had such a lot of entries and kind of scrolling down, and I just felt such a degree of sorrow when I looked at your message. I have to be honest with you. It was hard not to choose you. And I know that you put that moreover it was a message for your son from his daddy.
Yes.
And although I can take that, and I got this huge wrench of enormous loss very suddenly, but I also looked at the picture and felt this huge loss for you too. So I also have to say that when I'm looking at you now and I'm interacting with you, there's this massive feeling of guilt from you. And I'm so overwhelmed, I'm so sorry. You do know this wasn't your fault, Caitlin. I love Skype readings, but the fact I can't go and cuddle you right now is killing me. It's like you feel that you should have done more, or you could have done more, and you couldn't have done any more if you tried. I need to kind of go into detail with this a bit, if that's okay with you.
Yes.
When I was choosing you, and today actually the whole time I've been here, I've had this younger male with me, okay, who's very edgy. I have to say he's very fidgety. He's very edgy. If I become him, God forbid I should do that, I can't sit still. My knees feel like they're always going. I feel like my hands are shaky. And there's this huge feeling of guilt from him, okay? I have to acknowledge this. And it's as if from him, he keeps on wanting to say to you that he's sorry, okay? But he feels he let you down, but he feels that he let his son down. And there's this massive feeling for him of almost giving up, you know, of him almost wanting to just not be here, okay? And I don't know if I need to acknowledge that he took himself across, or there is someone else with him that took himself across, but I have to say to me, I need to acknowledge that someone helped themselves across, okay? Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, so is this your partner that did this? Okay.
Yeah.
This is what, I don't know, he keeps pointing to his neck, so I don't know if he couldn't breathe, but there's this whole feeling of not being able to breathe. And he doesn't want to go into detail. He hates the word, actually, to be honest. So I'm not allowed at this point to say that word because he doesn't like it. Can I also say, from his point of view, that it was a cry for help also, and it went hugely wrong. And so many people have been, can I say this? I know this is going to be made public and I'm sorry if this upsets you. So many people have made so many different decisions about how he did this or why he did this. And people have, they've almost given him judge and jury and decided in their own mind. And he keeps saying that that's not how it was at all. You know the real him. And this was never about that. It was about him letting people down. It was about him not being able to concentrate being here on this side. I don't know if he tried it once before, but he's saying to me like I need to acknowledge twice, or I need to acknowledge the second time he'd felt this low, because he's kind of very much highs and lows and very much up one minute and very down the next. And he's actually giggling now and saying this is probably the most he's talked in forever, because when he was this side, you just couldn't get him to speak. And he couldn't speak about his... He's saying he's sorry he didn't tell you how much he loved you, you know? I'm so... Okay, then I'm so sorry. He didn't let me know. He just worshipped you. You were everything to him. Everything. And when you told him that you were pregnant, he knew you were pregnant. Yes, I need to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
It's like a massive thing for him. And he's not blaming his son in any way. But the reality of what was going to happen was just massive for him. And it was the fact that he just thought, can I get cross with him right now? Could I want to punch him? He's like, you stupid twit. The fact that he thought you'd be better off without him. And this is why he did what he did. And now knows how wrong that really is. And now he knows that you've made him feel so proud to be a dad. And memory. Does your son have his name? Because I need to acknowledge and say thank you for the name.
Sorry?
Does your son have his name? Because he needs to say thank you for using my name, okay? I've gone goosebumpily. Thank you for, I don't know if you've spelled it differently or you've said it in a different way. I don't know what the change you've used is, or you've done it as a middle name, but it's like you've put your spin on it. You've put the Caitlin spin on it that only you could. Do you know, do you just know how bloody gorgeous you are? Do you have any idea how much he worshipped you? And you're the best mum in the history of mums, but you berate yourself all the time, and darling, that needs to stop. Because from today, he needs you to love who you are. It's a really big issue for me too. And I know since he passed, it's knocked your self-confidence, it's knocked everything about you. And there's been lots of fingers of blame, and there's been lots of fallout, and there's been lots of people getting quite irritated, and he's upset that people aren't supporting you in a way that he'd hoped, and he's not going to name names. He said, but you know exactly who I mean.
Yeah.
And he thinks he's to blame for all of that, and he just wants you to know that he didn't think it through and he's sorry. Did you get him a cake? He's going on about this flipping cake.
Yeah, that's yeah.
It seems to be the most important thing in his world. It's cake. I don't know when you got it him, but he's like, can you mention the cake? I loved the cake. And there is either the 2nd of a month as being important, or February, or around Valentine's Day. He keeps acknowledging, I don't know why, but it seems to be important, okay? And he's mentioning the 2nd twice, so it's either the 2nd of any month or the month of February is important. And I also need to acknowledge November or the 11th of a month as being important, okay? And when your son was being born, did you take a picture of him during the delivery?
Yeah, I had a small picture, yeah.
Because he keeps saying I was there. I don't know if you had the picture like kind of here, like looking at you, but it's like I was there.
Yes.
I just need to say that throughout the whole birth, I was there. I was right next to you, and there wasn't a more prouder moment in my life. And you held your baby here, and I was there too, because he said I was in on the cuddle. I think you lifted the picture up and said, this is Daddy. It's like I need to acknowledge that you keep showing me. Can I just say something? That he doesn't like to lift his head up, does he?
No, not at all.
It's got like, we maybe think he's got a crick in his neck, but he doesn't like lifting his head up. He's like, you can't see his eyes because he's got the most beautiful eyes, but he doesn't like lifting them up, and he's embarrassed over who he is. He's embarrassed about this, but very much needing you to know this. He's honoured and so proud at how you portray him to your boy. And he keeps saying, Paula, I don't deserve what she says I am, because she makes me sound like a hero. And I don't feel like one right now because I let her down. But he keeps saying, can you please tell her from me, I will never, ever, ever stop loving you. And I promise I will. My sole reason for being up here is to be a guardian angel for our son. And I promise I will always be there for him. Always. And all he ever needs to do is call out his name, okay? Did you have the tattoo done in honour of him yet? Does one of them have stars on it?
Not stars, but it does have
like
things at the side.
Little wiggly things. He keeps showing me Jessie's. I don't know if it's on the wrist of your arm there, but my daughter has one here with stars on it. He keeps showing me that. There is a connection to saying that is absolutely blown him away, and he just loves the fact that you've done that in honour of him. And he keeps mentioning the wings. I don't know if there's like wings of a butterfly or an angel, but I keep mentioning them. And I also need to acknowledge the star again. So the star is important because he's mentioned it again. I don't know if when you look out to the sky and you see a star, you mention that that's Daddy to your son. And I don't know if your son is old enough to sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, but he keeps singing it to me, okay? So I need to acknowledge if you've had this moment with your boy and you've sang Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and he's sang it back, that Daddy's been in the same room and he's heard that said, okay? It's a really big thing to him. Is he joking about his hair? Is there some funny thing about his hair I'm supposed to mention? Did you?
No, he had the most beautiful hair ever.
Did you take some? Did you take some of his hair? You're cracking up. I'm cracking up. I need to repeat that. Did you take some of his hair? That's what he's like, seriously? Do you have any idea what you did? Because you didn't think to just take it from the back.
No, I got
Right from the front! He's like God with his hair. It's like, don't touch the hair unless you're a hairdresser. And there you go, wading in with your scissors. And you cut nearly all his fringe off. His hair is so important, like, to get it right. And he just, when you were doing that, I swear, if he could have stood behind you and gone, boom, don't touch that, I think he would have. But he thinks that's wonderful. I mean, all joking apart, don't feel bad about it. It's just his brilliant sense of humour coming out. You know, when he's on one, he's the funniest, most confident people around. You know, when he's on one. But the dip from high to low is so big for him, he couldn't keep in the middle ground. And it was something that he couldn't continue to do anymore. So I need you, my guides never, I have to say this, kudos to them, because it's very difficult to choose a winner when you're just reading people's stories. And when I stopped at your name, my brother, who also took his own life, screamed your name at me and said, stop right there. And I have to say that in this particular instance, because he's been so desperate to get a message to you, they really pulled out all the stops for this, because I know just how much you needed to hear from him. And I know that you put this message was for your son. This message isn't for him, it's for you. You needed this, because you do everything for your boy, and he's more than taken care of, and you need to be aware of what an absolutely amazing mum. Talk about celebrity mum of the year. You should be the people's mum of the year. You need to really realise that from today, Caitlin, that there's nothing that you could do any better for him, because you're both mum and dad to him. And it takes a lot of courage, because you're feeling your own loss too. And there are many people who are heroes, and today I have to say you're mine, because what you've done is incredible. Okay, so from today I need you to know that there's nothing that you could have done. This wasn't anything that you could have stopped. It was always going to be the way. Your little boy didn't encourage it. It just was, everything pinned together was the final straw, I suppose, for him. It was the straw that broke the camel's back, okay? If he could change it, and if he could change back time, you need to know he would. Okay? Because he should be here with you. But for now, he'll walk with you every day, I promise you. And he loves showing you the signs, so please don't ever stop looking for them. Massive signs, robins, rainbows, you name it. Sky going wrong. It's probably him messing up the connection when we were trying to connect, because you sounded like a Dalek at one point. He couldn't connect, and that's him. He likes to have fun with you, and your son will always, always, always know who his daddy is, and his daddy will walk with him for the rest of his life, okay? I'm going to leave you with his love and say thank you very much for letting me be the one to bring him through. You've made my day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care, my love.
So much.
God bless. Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.